Welcome back, everyone. Thank you for joining me, the Cajun Khajiit, for another walkthrough guide. Today we are going to be covering Atomic Heart. Just to let everyone know, this is an M-rated game, so there is cursing. There are a few, I guess, involving mannequins. There are a few sexual scenes, so just be aware of this. My other videos were more kid-friendly. This one probably isn't. So, as you can see in the settings, I was just putting it on streamer mode so that I don't get DMCA'd for any music. And now we're choosing the difficulty level. There's basically easy, medium, and hard. We're going to choose the hard mode. That's called Armageddon in this game. This first video is going to have quite a lot of cuts. There's lots of cut scenes, and we really don't need all of that. So this is how the game starts, your very first introduction. We're going to skip over the majority of this boat ride. And once we exit the boat, we are going to head straight to our first trophy.
You dickhead.
So once we exit, we are going to go to the right and follow the path. This is just an introductory level. There really isn't anything to do except follow your markers. So as we run through here, we're going to get to a small area. And up here on the left is a phone booth. We want to go into the phone booth to get the How Can I Help You trophy.
Hi, do you have Prince Albert in a can?
Yeah, and we ain't letting him out.
Oh, then is your refrigerator running?
Yeah, and it's coming to get you, kid.
Ah, crap.
As you can see, that's very, very easy. The hardest thing about it is knowing that you have to do it. You have to use a phone booth in Chalamet, which is the city that we're in. And we don't spend much time here at all. It's just an introductory level. So we're going to continue on following the markers. And up here on the left, there's a little table. You can interact with these tables. There are several of them. It doesn't really do much. It's like a little device that you put on the side of your head. And
I like their spirit. And I hear it's nice.
I'm not exactly sure what it does, but it doesn't work with our character, which is one of the very first hints that we get that something isn't quite right with him. In this area, it's like an outdoor museum type of place, and
I can't figure out what
you'll hear P3 tell a little bit about
crispy critters, man.
his experiences and what he thinks about other countries. Coming up through here, this is a part that we have to interact here in order to get our next ability, which will be to scan our environment using the glove.
Yeah, many happy returns. Cut to the chase, would you?
While they're talking, I'm just going to say this is a very, very long guide. At this point, while I'm recording this, I have already recorded and edited 10 videos, and I don't think I'm even halfway through. So this is going to be really long, and it may take a while to get everything out. At this point, because I got so far ahead, I wanted to come back and do voiceover for everything.
Been there, done that.
While it's all still kind of fresh in my head. Just so be prepared. This is a long one, and once we get into the open world section, I had to make a lot of cuts because there are so many things that I would play through on my other profile just to kind of get the hang of it and know exactly where everything is and what to do. And when I come back to record it, I will find something that I missed. So then I have to go back, record again, cut it in the right area. These are all stupid streamer problems that you don't need to worry about, but it's just a little bit of a heads up. There we just used a capsule. You're gonna get lots of capsules throughout your playthrough. They do different things. They can recharge your energy, they can refill your health, and they work directly with the glove. And now here, this robot is going to teach you how to scan your environment, which is very important. It allows you to see through some walls, and the different coloring of the objects that you see through them will give you an idea of what it is. The blue items, they could be necromancers, they could be boxes with loot in them, chirpers. So different colors kind of mean different things, and you know, if you see red, it's an enemy. So now that we're done with that, we pretty much just have to cross this bridge. You get that small cutscene where you can't do anything, and then you cross over this bridge and head into the next building. We have to go and get the keys to the vehicle that's going to take us out of Chalamet. So basically, you're just kind of getting familiar with the controls here and getting a little starting point baseline for the story. This game does take place in an alternate reality of Russia, and it's very strange. Obviously, there are robots everywhere, all different types, some that look human, some that very obviously don't. And as we go through, we'll get lots of information about some of the experiments that are going on here. It's actually pretty wild. I do have a good appreciation for weird forms of entertainment, and I have to say it takes quite a lot of imagination to think of this and then put it on an interactive screen. So far, I guess you could say so far I'm pretty happy with my experience with this game. Here we're going to talk to these twin robots. They're going to hand us the keys. And then we'll be able to make our exit. We just go right back down the elevator. I'm not really giving you too much direction here because there's only so many places that you can go. This section is extremely linear. You really can't go the wrong way because you can only go one way. All the other areas are blocked off with invisible walls or NPCs that are standing in the way. So, and I'm cutting these elevator scenes because elevators take a long time in this game. Very, very long.
And that's where men like you come in, Sergei. Men sworn to defend mankind and its destiny.
Need me to get rid of somebody, boss?
You're very relaxed about it, my boy. I hope it won't come to that. But let's take it one step at a time. First, you'll need a substantial glove upgrade. Report to the lab. A Tereshkova robot will meet you there and take you to the Vavilov complex. Understood?
Yes, sir. I'm getting in the car right now.
So as you can see there, we were just told we need a glove upgrade. We're going to head to the marker and enter the vehicle. And I do not have the trophy pop here, but you will get the Happy Polymerization Day trophy once you fly out into the car. The reason I don't have this pop is because quite a while back I did play a demo for this game. So on my main account I got that trophy pop playing the demo, and at that time I did not have my settings to where it records a 15-second clip of every single trophy pop.
We wish you a very
So
pleasant journey.
we don't have that one, but you will get it right here. It's if you don't know about the phone booth, this is the first trophy that you're going to get. And this is so strange. Why have a vehicle? Why have a car like this if you're just going to have a robot fly it around? I mean, they give a little reason why here during the cutscene, but it's kind of silly. Later on, we will get to drive a car, though. And it's very awkward. I'm glad we don't have to do a lot of driving in this game, at least so far. Because it's not fun.
That's more like it.
Anyway, I'm gonna let the cutscene go. I do have a cut in here. I just thought this was quite visually stunning. So I did leave some of this in here so that you could get an idea of what's going on. Chalamet is a floating city, obviously. And there are quite a few, it looks like, floating cities. But where we're headed is actually on the ground. So we're gonna fly away from here and we will meet back up on the ground.
I said the signal's on the fritz, but thanks anyway, Herr Stockhausen. Dr. Sechenov already filled me in.
Don't you think that may have been a bit too much?
Nope.
For some reason, your response didn't surprise me at all.
This is Facility 3826's audio guide. We will soon be arriving at our destination.
I cut out several minutes there, but as you can see, we're back on land. And here you can see things are not going as expected on the land. You're not really supposed to know what's going on right now, but I think it's pretty clear that the robots have rebelled, which is something they wouldn't do on their own. And this is what our main objective is going to be right now, is finding the person that did this.
Unfortunately, I have no information on this subject.
And
all the robots have been
trying to correct the problem.
Until they suddenly became hostile.
This female robot here is gonna try to help us, and unfortunately it's not gonna work out too well for her.
That was really very rude of them.
And I love the male robots with their crazy little mustaches. I think it's just so funny. They all have little mustaches. But I think mustaches are funny, to be honest.
Our ascent is once again continuing
Anyway,
normally.
probably
A towing
TMI.
robot will be here shortly to
We're going to
perform
take
magnetic
this
coupling
elevator
and
ride,
take us
which
by
is
air to-
going to be quite short-lived.
Bitch, not again.
And
Oh, help me,
hopefully
Comrade Major.
we'll make
I'm
it
falling.
safely back down to Earth. As you can see, we have officially begun Atomic Heart. The introduction section is completed. And here we'll see P3 wake up, and he will get his hands on his first weapon.
Oh, shit, my head's killing me. Ugh.
As you can see, our glove has telekinetic abilities, and our first
Wizard,
weapon
this
is
P3.
an axe.
Come in.
Sergey, are you all right, my boy?
And I
I'm
will
okay,
say,
boss.
I enjoy the
But
axe. You
nothing
get
here is
lots
the
of
way it's
weapons
supposed to
later
be.
on, but the
Whatever's
axe
going on
is
clearly started
my
a while
favorite
ago.
of the
Victor
melee weapons.
Petrov is the reason. He's a traitor.
You can,
who hacked into
you're going to be
Collective's
doing a
central
lot of
hub
upgrading on your
and caused the
weapons
civilian
and
robots
building
to attack
weapons.
facility employees.
But
Petrov
choose the
has
one that
access
you like
codes
the
for
best
hub.
to fully upgrade.
Mission
You see
is
the
to find
slimy
him.
looking stuff on the
Bring him
left?
to
That's
me.
polymer.
Copy that, sir.
You can actually
The target
swim
is Victor
through
Petrov.
that, and
My
it doesn't
mission is to
harm
find
you.
him and bring him to you.
Exactly. Sectionov out.
We're gonna take these robots out. They're not a really big threat, but this is just kind of a tutorial to teach you, you know, how to use your weapon, how enemies will attack you. And also, if you see like the circle on a robot or a box or anything, that means that there's something inside, and you can use your telekinetic ability to pull it out. Here you can see
Hey, glove.
it's
Yes,
total
Major.
chaos.
Any details on the target?
Victor Petrov is the lead engineer behind Collective 2.0. He was arrested
In
for
this
treason and
area,
sentenced to community service
we're
at the
about to
Vavilov
have
complex.
Got it.
a little
I can deal with
cutscene,
that.
and we're
Where
going to
should I
meet
start
someone
looking?
who actually
Petrov is
wants to
currently
help
somewhere
us
in the underground levels of
that
the
isn't
Vavilov
just talking
complex.
to us through the
We'll have to
glove.
find a way inside.
Okay, let's do it.
Somebody help me!
Hey, you.
Shit! Get away from me! Go fuck yourself!
Yeah, this guy's a complete jerk. Tried to throw us in the outhouse. And you'll see on your screen, you get the red blood shots around when you get injured. Which, because this happened in a
I didn't see
cutscene,
that
it's not
coming.
going to affect our health. But during gameplay, be aware of that. You will have to heal on the run quite a lot.
Yeah, I noticed.
Here's
for the help.
Granny Xena. She is quite a helpful character, and right now she's got us opening up a secret door. She's real tough for being as old as she is. And here we'll have, I did cut most of the cutscene. There's quite a few cutscenes here in the beginning, and this guy's gonna knock us into the elevator we just opened up, and we are going to enter the Vavilov complex, which is the first area of the game that we have to complete. It's obviously an underground area, and we're gonna have to find a way out.
What a goddamn clusterfuck.
So once we exit the elevator, you always want to open up everything you possibly can. Every drawer, every box. We need a lot of items
Right.
to create weapons, upgrade weapons. We need everything we can possibly get. So, you know, that robot there, he's not going to hurt us. He's injured, but we want to go ahead and get rid of him anyway, just so that we can get the materials. We're going to climb up those boxes. Here is the valve that we need to open up the door, and right next to it is our first Chirper. We have to collect every Chirper in the game, so you do not want to miss any of them. Every time I get one, I will play it. I don't know if we have to play it or not in order for it to count, but I play them all anyway. Here we're going to put the valve on the door to open it up, and we are going to get our second weapon in this cutscene. And this weapon is the first firearm.
Hang on, buddy. Hang on. Hang on.
There's our weapon wheel. You just hold down, I'm playing on PS5, you hold down the square button and it will pull up your weapon wheel and you can swap, or you can use your D-pad and push the left and right buttons to switch through your weapons that are in your inventory. Doors that have that kind of light on water effect, those are save rooms. So in here we're going to open up that chest. If you see a chest, definitely open it. They always have good things inside. And that is our save station. So make sure that you enter into here first in this room on the right before continuing on, because we are going to have a hard enemy
And the machines rose from...
here.
Yeah, shit.
And also you want to be scanning your enemies. We have to scan every enemy for a trophy in the game. Remember to dodge, which is the circle button. And by holding down L2, you can have a power attack. We want to enter the room that this guy just came from, and in here we're going to get Chirper number 2. After we loot everything in this room, there's going to be lots and lots of looting, especially in the Vavilov complex, because this is kind of like a research area, sort of. So there's lots and lots of drawers to open, chests to open, boxes to open, and we need everything that we can possibly get.
It utilizes a quantum singularity to shrink items placed within it, then restores them to their original size upon extraction.
There is the Chirper. We're going to go ahead and listen to that, and then we're going to move on to the next area. You can also grab that Chirper first if you want to, and then loot the room, because this one's a little bit long. I don't know why I looted first. I think it's just a habit.
We aren't allowed to let you through,
Anyway,
Granny Zeta.
those little
Authorization.
stations right there, they just kind of give you information, mails between employees in the facility.
Either you let me through right this instant, or I'll come back later, and somebody else will be cool.
Which it won't stop your Chirper if you open that up and read the mails.
That's what I thought.
Once you close it out, your Chirper will pick up where it left off. So here, it's just different mails. I'm just scrolling through them quickly. We don't need to read them. You can read them. They are informative for the story. So once we leave, we're going to go to the left of the door that we exit from. And there's a little booth on the left. This door is locked. We're going to come back and unlock it later.
Glove.
And we're going to pass through the door to the right of the locked door.
Whatever. Hey, how this Petrov
Here
guy
we're
managed
just
to hack
looting
Collective?
this room.
The trader wasn't working alone. He was conspiring with several
And
others.
Several, huh?
in
So
here,
where are they?
They have already been
there
eliminated,
will
but
be
it will be impossible to get
an
to Petrov
enemy.
without
It's
your
your
assistance.
first
That's why you're here.
stealth kill. After we loot and go into the next room, it's kind of like a little tutorial to show you how to
Hey, is that a
stealthily
pair? Is it
kill the
working?
robot
All
enemies.
pairs at facility 3826 are
I don't know if
connected to
I don't think
emergency
there's
power
anything
and are
associated
never
with
turned off.
these
This allows employees to remain in constant
little
contact.
screens I'm
But I
interacting
need,
with,
like,
but
the
I am just
password
showing
or an
them to
access
you.
level or something to get
And
into
you
a
can
pair,
pause
I
if you
can
want to
provide
read them.
you with access to any facility device.
So
This
through
also
this
applies to
door,
the
which is the
Chirpers,
only
who
door we
surely
can exit
encounter
from
en
besides
route to
going
your
back
mission
the way we
objective.
entered,
Got it.
you'll see a robot just standing there. We're going to crouch down and sneak up behind
Sneak
him
up on the robot
and
perform a stealth attack.
go ahead and do
I'll
the
use
stealth
the opportunity
takedown.
to permanently disable it.
Personally, I find it's very rare to have an occasion where you can stealth take down an enemy. It's very easy if you can do it, but I didn't run across very many occasions where I could do that. Here on the desk right in front of that robot is Chirper number 3.
Have a seat, Mikhail. I just need to finish my work, and then I'll help you with that report. Lab Tech 84, bring Comrade.
And while that
Kosov
plays,
to
we're going to go ahead and loot everything in this
I'll see
room.
you in a second. Okay?
And just so you know, this first video is going to be kind of slow in comparison to the others. You know, we're still kind of in the learning stages as far as the game goes. So yeah, it ramps up over time. It is a little slow at first, but I will say I appreciated that because some of the enemies later on, they do get quite difficult. Okay, so we're going back to that locked door, and if any of you ever played Skyrim, the mechanic is similar to lockpicking in Skyrim, except you're using wires instead of, you know, a lockpick. So you kind of you can feel in your controller if you're close to getting it right. You know, you'll feel pushback if you're not in the right spot. So yeah, I like the lockpicking mechanic. I wish they used it more rather than the giant locks they put on doors. In here, there's another enemy. We want to get rid of him before we can continue on looting in this room.
So you're telling me a handful of traitors somehow managed to hack into Collective, a network created by the best minds in the Soviet Union?
The traitors introduced a false combat mode into one of Collective's algorithms that causes the central hub to see all humans as invading soldiers.
And our scientists really can't fix it without Petrov.
They can, but it will
Make
take
sure
some
that
time,
you
during which
grab
many more people
this
will die,
neuromed
and
capsule
information
here
about the
that's
incident
sitting
will
on
make its way
there.
outside the
The
facility.
large ones are pretty hard to come by. Later on, once you start getting blueprints, you will be able to make them. The music on those little stations, for some reason, it reminds me of the music in Mass Effect. Maybe it's just me. I don't know. Tell me what you think. I think it sounds very similar, and it brought flashbacks of that game back when I first heard it. Anyway, in this room where we got the large neuromed capsule, we want to climb up into this vent, and this is going to bring us to the booth that's right next to the door that was locked. So we're gonna get right back into that same room that we've been going back and forth into. Pick up all the items off of the desk, and then the door will be opened. We couldn't enter it before, but now we can exit it. Here we're going to kill a few enemies before picking up Chirper number 4. I think there are either 2 or 3 enemies in this room that we have to take care of. And as you can see, you know, it does get harder here. They're giving us 2 at a time. Before this, there's always been just 1 at a time of these more difficult ones. And I know I didn't, but don't forget to scan all of your enemies and loot their bodies. So now that that's taken care of, oh, this is just the inventory. And here I'm going to use one of the small neuromed capsules. In the middle of this hall, I think these are like seating areas. There is a chirper right there. We're going to pick that up and listen to it. That's our 4th chirper. And then we're going to head into the bathroom that's on the left for our 5th chirper.
May God have mercy on our souls.
There's also some items scattered around and an enemy in this room. So we want to make sure and pick up everything and take care of this guy.
Is it me? Or did that bush just move? Ivan! Ivan!
Yeah, luring him back out into this main hallway can be helpful. It's always harder in an enclosed space. And as you can tell, I'm still getting adjusted to combat. I missed him a couple of times. Anyway, we go back into that bathroom and we're going to pick up Chirper number 5. It is on the floor near the toilet in the far stall.
My dearest V, it's too dangerous to keep leaving messages like this. This is the last
And then you
one.
can see our
Get
marker
ready.
over there at
I'm
that
getting
door.
my paperwork together, and then I'll be right
But
behind you.
this
We're
area
going
we
to
can't
out of
get
this
through
nightmare.
yet.
Yours always, L.
Damn it, why is everything locked here?
Emergency mode was activated as soon as the robots began attacking humans. Facility 3826 is on lockdown.
So we get a new
That
marker, but
includes the
don't
inner
forget to
sector.
open the
So how am
chest
I
that's right
supposed to
next
open
to
this
the
door?
door where the
It's
marker
locked
is.
with an electromagnetic lock.
So I need to fry it with an electromagnetic pulse.
And once we open this door, we're going to get a cutscene.
Something's wrong.
Oh shit!
Come on, get up, soldier. Great, just a little more. You okay?
I'm fine.
How many fingers?
Now this girl here,
4.
Great, now get up. I need your help.
we don't know who she is yet, but unfortunately,
They brought you here.
she is
Put pressure on this
apparently
wound.
the girlfriend of
They tried to
the guy
Who are you?
who
Doctor.
turned the
got a name?
robots against
No
us.
time for small
So
talk.
God damn.
that's really not too good for
Forceps,
her.
Forceps, forceps, forceps.
I'm on it.
Get me them.
And
What's this doing here?
this is the first
took you
time
so
that we
long?
see, you
got a
know,
neuropolymer capsule.
We don't need one.
she
Yeah.
obviously
So what's your name,
works
Doc?
here,
Larissa,
but
you ask a lot of questions.
she's going to be
You know what?
surprised
You're
at
on your own. You
how
got this.
Where are you going? It's
Nechayev,
useless. We don't have the
P3,
I've got the
equipment.
how he can use the neuromed capsule. So
Now we're getting
the
somewhere.
glove that
Do
he
that.
has
You
is
ask a lot of
obviously very special, and not everyone has access to technology like this. So as this cutscene ends, we are going to have to fight this mini boss. These are the, it's the same type of
Holy
robot
shit.
that we've been
Avoid the
fighting,
beam.
but the ones in the black suits are much more powerful. We need to make sure to scan him. And then we have to fight him. He's not very difficult. What makes this the most difficult is the enclosed space that we're in. So just remember to keep moving. Keep charging up your axe. Here, I'm going to go ahead and use the Neuromed capsule. Dodge away from him when he jumps at you. Dodge away if he opens up his face to shoot you with the laser. And keep charging up these attacks. Later on, this robot type will be a normal enemy. But for now, he's a little mini boss. So later on when you see them, they're not this difficult to fight, and they don't get the health bar at the top. It's just a normal enemy. Make sure to loot him once we're done.
Charles.
And there's
Where does the
also
chef Larissa crawled
crate
into
over
go?
here.
It's hard to say.
The
The
chest.
ventilation system contains a large number of branching ducts.
Fine. I can deal with it later.
And now we have to unlock the other door to be able to exit. And this is the big giant lock I was talking
What's
about
that
earlier.
freaky
We
thing
get
on the
lots of
door?
different
A
versions
lock.
of these
Are you
locks.
serious?
They're not really
Then open
hard.
it already.
In
Come
this
on,
one,
we're
you
in a
have to
hurry.
snap your
I'm
finger,
unable to assist you. I
and
lack any
you have to
kind of
close
lock-picking
all of the
functionality.
circuits.
You'll
So
have to
you want
find your
green
own
lights all the way
method for picking
across.
locks.
They're
I'm
not
sure
super
you're smart
difficult.
enough.
Yeah,
There's
right.
different
In other
variations
words,
on
you're
it, but
basically useless. It
it's not
works.
my favorite kind of lock picking. So we're going to go down this hallway, and we're going to have our first encounter with Nora, and we're
lullaby?
also going to pick up
I don't
our
like
very
this.
first blueprint.
Charles, what's on the other side of the door?
That's Nora's voice. She's very dangerous.
As you can see, this is a save room. Before you go too far in, make sure to open up the chest. We get the small Neuromed capsule blueprint, so now we can create these at the Nora station. But first, we have to tame her. This is quite a long cutscene. I'm going to cut it short. And this is going to be
More skills will become available
where
to you
we
soon.
upgrade our
Choose
glove,
shop, for you were
upgrade
fortunate enough to
weapons,
acquire about 50
create new
grams of
weapons with
neuropolymer.
blueprints,
I
create
suggest exchanging this dose with
different
lovely Nora for
items
Miss
that
Phil.
can be
You
used.
don't mind.
Here I'm putting in shock. This is mandatory because we need the shock to open up the door that's locked. Shock is something that you use with your glove. It will send an electrical wave out. With that, you just push the triangle button and your glove will automatically shock whatever you're aiming at. And here I'm just looking at the different upgrades for our axe and getting some basic upgrades to help us out along the way. And then you switch between your weapons and your glove. Here you'll use neuropolymer to upgrade the glove, so this is part of the reason why you want to be collecting everything. And with that, we're going to save, and this is where the video ends. So thank you all so much for watching. Please remember to like and subscribe if you haven't done so yet. And hopefully I'll see you all in the next one. Khajiit always has wares.